So an extremely powerful card by the name of Twins of the Eclipse or Eclipse Twins in the TCG is coming out in just about 2 weeks in Supreme Darkness. So being a rank 4, this card is supposed to be direct Razor support, the same way Template Skipper is Malice support and Dark Sea Serpent is Ryugi support. But the difference between them is that Template Skipper is rather mediocre in Malice, and the Ryugi deck is so abysmal that who cares about Dark Sea Serpent. On the other hand though, Twins of the Eclipse is actually incredible support for an already extremely good deck. So just like Gigantic Sprite, this card is actually quite interesting since you can make it using rank 4 monsters that can be treated as level 4 monsters. And this does matter for some interesting combos. It also has an okay on-field effect, but what really matters is its in-grave effect. So whenever it's sent to the graveyard, it can revive back a rank 4 monster from your graveyard, anyone, and then attach another rank 4 monster from your graveyard to it as an Xyz material. So you guessed it, it's yet another dumb target for X-Raziel on top of Mirrorlogic Aggregator that we already have. So in a grind game, let that sink in. You can have 0 cards in your hand, 0 cards on your field, top deck to an X-Raziel, and then actually play through a Solemn Judgment on your X-Raziel just because you dumped a Twins of the Eclipse to revive back your Dual Driver Detonator. I don't know what Konami was thinking when they came up with X-Raziel, and I most definitely don't know what they were thinking when they came up with Twins of the Eclipse. The card almost power creeps Aggregator as the better Xyz monster to send off of X-Raziel when you go first. You basically almost always want to send it to the graveyard since when you have it in rotation and your detonator attaches it, you're set. Because with a single detonator, you can put yourself in a position where you technically have infinite pops over time or 4 pops in a single turn with just 3 materials. Essentially, you'd have to destroy your own detonator at the very end while still having Twins of the Eclipse as a material underneath. That way, Twins would trigger and revive back detonator with 2 materials, so that's essentially 1 more interruption. But where this interaction shines the brightest is when considering the fact that this Xyz monster now allows you to retain 2 pops through cards that could negate detonator before. For example, the Sky Striker engine gained a lot in popularity in the Malice deck because it was a way to actually deal with detonator, but things are about to change now. Let's just say you have a Widow Anchor and you target your detonator with Widow Anchor or Infinite Impermanence, doesn't really change anything in this situation. Your opponent will simply chain detonator to self-destruct and then use the Twins of the Eclipse to revive back the detonator and also use detonator's effect to attach back the Twins of the Eclipse, so he still has 2 pops through your Infinite Impermanence or Widow Anchor. So in other words, one single rank 4 Xyz monster you might never summon in your life single-handedly gets you more interruptions, more resilience, and a better grind game. Now look, even though I would love to blame Twins of the Eclipse for Raziel's top performance in the OCG, it's actually not the reason why the deck is top tier over there. As a matter of fact, its peak domination was before Supreme Darkness, so before Twins of the Eclipse. When they ended up getting the card, everyone started including it in their extra deck and even got to the point where people are now playing 2 Twins of the Eclipse now. It is without a shadow of a doubt an extremely powerful card that you have to deck build around whether you're playing Raziel or not. Like I said, this card single-handedly makes cards such as Infinite Impermanence, Widow Anchor, etc. that much less efficient. Instead of being able to rely on one single card to out Detonator's 3 pops, you now have to waste a card just to make Detonator go from 4 pops to 2. That's literally worse than a neg 1, so obviously engines such as the Sky Striker cards will start seeing way less play. With that said, cards such as the Bestials will start seeing way more play. Being able to hit Twins of the Eclipse with a Bestial when your opponent actually tries to attach it with Detonator is huge for you, especially if they only play 1 because now their grind game takes a huge toll. Not to mention that if your opponent's Detonator does not have a Twins of the Eclipse underneath, you can just crash your Jwizzworm and then send that Detonator, and again it will not be able to do the trick where it self-destructs. As a matter of fact, the Bestial makes it so that Detonator only has 2 pops instead of 4, and also you have a monster on the field that can immediately trade with it. So while I think a lot of spot removal cards will start getting way worse in this format post-Supreme Darkness, I also think that Bestials will be getting a huge buff. The Malice deck can easily adapt itself to this new trend by simply swapping the Sky Striker cards with a larger Bestial engine. Because, you know, those cards are kind of like the Sky Striker engine cards anyway, since they are extra extenders in your deck. And also, the Bestials are remarkable against the Fiendsmith engine, which makes them your #1 friend against the #1 best deck of the format. So yeah, in conclusion, Twins of the Eclipse is an unfair card, and you absolutely cannot afford to disrespect it or afford to ignore it. You have to build your strategy around it, otherwise your cards will just have such a low impact against Raziel. I also think that Twins of the Eclipse will be one of the main reasons why X-Raziel will be the very first victim in the upcoming ban list, since that is, of course, what the OCG ended up doing. But yeah, that's all I had for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about Twins of the Eclipse in the comment section below. Do you think the card is completely broken? Do you think it's just okay? Or do you think it's garbage? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Peace.